I want to talk about a topic, it's been done to death, innovation. All the articles, white papers out there, no matter what industry you're in, they're saying you've got to innovate to survive. But as cliche as it sounds, innovation really isn't a luxury today. It's a necessity. There's always someone else out there thinking about how they can take your market share. And with the rate of change in the world, technology, globalization, empowered consumers and all, if you're standing still, you're falling behind. Now, I could stand up here all day and tell you about the wonderful ways Domino has developed innovative products and services to meet coding and marking needs of our customers. But I'd rather talk about the process of innovation and 5 things that have to happen to make meaningful innovation. The first thing innovation requires is collaboration. And I'll give you a little bit of my background to show you how collaboration has played a very significant role in my life. I grew up in a big family. I'm talking 12 brothers and sisters. We lived in a modest house in the outskirts of Chicago. Dad worked 2 jobs, so Mom could stay at home and raise us kids. Sitting down at the dinner table was a really important part of our day. It's when we talk about our day, the day's events, talk about solving some of the world's problems, and most often, talking about some of the problems we have around the house, like how to work out a practical schedule for the 2 bathrooms in the house. Yes, 14 people meant 14 showers per day and just 2 bathrooms. The dinner table is where we collaborated as a family to solve challenges. As I've gotten old and reflect on these years, I more clearly recognize the significance of these conversations. And I really don't see that there was any other way to be functional family in this environment without this approach. It's a simple concept, but there are many layers. For one, the ability to round us, all us kids up around the dinner table and facilitate a respectful and meaningful conversation when we were tired and hungry, etc. In a world that felt like chaos at times, that was an accomplishment in itself. And one particular challenge I remember was how to prepare so many lunches for school. This was one of the tasks on our weekly rotating job list, and arguably it was the worst. Well, no, come to think of it, hand washing the dishes, the day's dishes, that was the worst. Anyway, peanut butter and jelly every day was getting old. But we knew, and Dad reiterated, we couldn't afford to buy sliced deli meat on a regular basis. So he brought the problem to the table. Does anybody have any ideas? A better solution? After a lot of discussions, and everyone got to weigh in on the topic, that was an important part of this. Ideas were flowing and started connecting and building. I remember that point where I thought, oh my gosh, this might become reality. Someday I'll be able to have some decent lunches and not 700 consecutive days of peanut butter and jelly. The discussion led to a decisive conclusion. We would buy a deli slicer. And we're going to get the meat at Metro, the local restaurant supply store. When it was our turn to make sandwiches, we all had the opportunity to use the slicer. It made this exercise fun. We learned valuable skills, and the wonderful, delicious sandwiches got made efficiently. My point is, innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes collaboration among people who understand the challenge and have a stake in the outcome. Or maybe more appropriately, in this case, a ham sandwich. An individual can come up with the best idea in the world, but putting that idea into action, especially in complex situations like manufacturing environments, takes teamwork. Like Oliver Wendell Holmes said, many ideas grow better when transplanted into another mind than in the one where they sprung up. And I'll qualify that collaboration requirement further. It has to be intentional. It has to be focused on a specific goal, which is why focus is the second requirement to innovation. I was fortunate. My first job in the packaging industry was with a family-owned business that thrived on innovation and understood that motivated people in a conducive environment created the best innovation. Everyone had a voice in collaborating on new ideas, even those like me who are just out of college. Unfortunately, the company grew, became successful, and then they changed ownership. And with the change, it became more process-focused, less focused and less patient with helping customers solve real production problems. They found a recipe to sell as many units as possible. And we didn't have to think anymore. Put in your 9 to 5, sell as hard as you can, and when we can't sell anymore, it's okay, we'll let people go so we can protect our profit margins. We lost the focus on innovation and stopped exploring new ways to deliver value to our customers. For some like me, it was uninspiring. I had to move on. A few years later, I joined Domino. Even during the interview process, I could see that Domino had that same collaborative approach to innovation as the first company I worked for. But this was like collaboration on steroids. We had the strength and resources of a global organization, but at the core of that strength was the understanding that if you have a good idea, bring it forward. Anyone can, and we were encouraged to. Bring ideas forward that were intended to improve our employees and our customers' experience. There's a real family feel to the company. People are encouraged to explore their ideas. And this part is important. No one's going to get punished for making a mistake while trying to pursue better service for our customers. We're all pulling in the same direction, and we focus on collaborating to solve challenges. As a result, employees are inspired to think and act on their ideas and on behalf of being better for our customers. I'll give you an example from a couple of years ago. All the departments came together for our annual meeting and sat down at the table to talk about the needs and budgets for the upcoming year. The VP of Services came in with his charts and showing the impact of the growth we've been having and what it meant to our customers' experience. And it wasn't a good one. As a group, we all said, take our incremental budgets and give it to the services group so they can take care of our customers. As much as the VP of Sales wanted more salespeople to continue to drive increased revenue, and I wanted additional marketing funds to continue to build our brand, everyone recognized what was best for our customers. And we were ready to put our customers first before everything else. We all shared that same focus. The third critical element for innovation is that you really have to dig in and understand what it is you're trying to accomplish. You have to immerse yourself in the challenge and see it from every angle possible. When Domino was looking to expand into new markets, we developed what we call the Sector Project. This is where we identified some of our best people, those with extensive industry experience in coding and marketing solutions, and immersed them in our customers' worlds. We sent them out with explicit instructions to get connected with influencing players in that segment, customers, other OEMs, industry associations. Be there and listen and learn. We wanted them to gain a deep and firsthand understanding of the segment challenges so that when we met with customers, we were able to see things differently, more holistically. It was a chance to bring the customer to the table and spend time with them, spend time on their production line to learn what they think is most important. As business coach Rashid Ogunlaru put it, until you understand your customers deeply and genuinely, you cannot truly serve them. This approach allowed us to get the kind of feedback that you would never get in a 30-minute dog and pony sales pitch. And this insight can make a massive difference. I always feel fortunate to work in an industry where customers are so willing to sit down and talk with us and willing to let us come in and learn so we can explore how to bring innovation to help them. It's a balanced approach. On one hand, we have the industry, customers, OEMs, partners, suppliers. On the other side, we have Domino and all our resources, marketing, R&D, sales, service, and so on. And in the middle, we have these dedicated sector people whose main mission is to collaborate and share information for the betterment of both sides. And the information never stops flowing. Just like the changes and trends in manufacturing, it's constantly circulating through this process. That brings me to the fourth element of innovation? Commitment. Putting full-time employees like our sector managers out there with explicit instructions not to sell but to learn was an intentional decision on Domino's part. They saw the potential of these individuals in creative positions like this, so the sector managers could be as available to the market as possible. They were to be a resource to the market, not only experts in coding and traceability, but experts in our customer segment and working with customers on designing solutions. Making something like that sustainable takes commitment from high up. I'm not sure how many companies would have the foresight, much less the patience, to invest in a program like this. It's unique. It's intentionally fostering an environment of exploration and learning. They're saying, being different, taking a different approach from everyone around us, that's okay. I relate it back to my dad, who I mentioned worked two jobs, two full-time jobs. Yes, a 9-to-5 job at the Archdiocese of Chicago, and from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. at the U.S. Post Office. He did this for over 20 years, and he was committed. The reason one of the motivators of this, he was committed to allowing his kids to explore their own individual interests, whatever they may be, sports, music, science, gymnastics, whatever it was. As a result, we have a plethora of professionals in my family now, professional musicians, a California winemaker, teachers, social workers, athletic coaches, doctors. In fact, I have one brother who owns his own deli. So those skills he learned running that meat slicer have really paid off for him. Having sustainable support at a corporate level for learning and exploration means we can be out there alongside our customers, seeing what's ahead, not just from a coding and marketing perspective, but industry trends as well. When we launched the sector project in the pharma and life sciences segment, our expert, he was learning all about serialization and traceability requirements that were still in development, still in the works. Based on customers' input, he formed relationships with other suppliers and aligned himself with the industry's best suppliers, those players that would bring serialization solutions to our customers. And when the end users, the early adopters, were asking us about how we could help them, we had answers, solutions, people, processes in place to support them. We were fully prepared and well ahead of everybody else. It wasn't about selling the product, it was about committing to solve real challenges that were going to impact our customers in a big way. We took the same approach related to Industry 4.0 and Internet of Things. Understanding how we can be a valuable resource for our customers. So what do? We brought an individual into a role with tons of experience in integrating machines on manufacturing lines, so we can more efficiently collaborate with customers. With his extensive manufacturing integration and coding and marketing experience, he's available to identify practical approaches and solutions for our customers. I'll give you some other quick examples of how innovation can happen when you collaborate, focus, dig in and commit. Our canning sector expert worked with a well-known metal detector company to integrate a Domino printer into a metal detector so that defective or contaminated cans could be immediately identified and marked at speeds over 1,800 cans per minute. We're also working with a brewery customer who wanted to put a best buy date on 3 different size bottles on the line. I'll let them tell the story.
Here's Victory Brewing Company. We utilize 12-ounce bottles, 22-ounce bottles, and 750 milliliter bottles. And one of the challenges we had to overcome was to install the laser to be able to incorporate all those different sizes. Domino engineered a stand that has a graduated X and Y axis to allow us to have a repeatable numerical solution for each of those bottles when performing our changeovers.
When I think back to those times, sitting around the dinner table with my family, it's really been a special thing for me to be able to take those values I grew up with and apply them at different tables in my professional life. It's what makes Domino so special, why we say we deliver more than a mark. I'll leave you with the last thing that has to happen for meaningful innovation. You have to actually get started. Don't wait. If you got a challenge to overcome or a growth goal to hit, Sit down at the table. Invite your employees, suppliers, and vendors. Challenge them to collaborate with you. That's where things get better and performance improves for everyone. And don't wait for the next trade show. Make the effort. Do it now. Perhaps more than ever, in my almost 30-year career in packaging industry, there's so much opportunity to leverage the latest technology. And you don't have to figure it out yourself. I see opportunities every day, every plant I go into. It's really exciting. Have the discussion. See what you can do when all your heads come together and focus on the challenges you've got. The world isn't getting slower, and meaningful innovation doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you all sit down at the table together. Thank you.